Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to the honorable judges and those watching my speech. Presently, we are facing unprecedented times. We are struck by a pandemic that has caused the death of hundreds of thousands around the world. It has brought people to poverty and wrought havoc to our status quo. But worry not. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. We will face these trying times with optimism and the knowledge that things would return to as it were in the future. But some things should not return. Smothering pollution that chokes our lungs should not return. Toxic chemicals that poison life-giving rivers should not return. Our laissez-faire attitude towards how we treat the environment definitely should not return. Despite the carnage that surrounds us, this pandemic has given us a glimpse at a second chance to create a positive impact on the environment. For me, that glimpse was at the river beside my home. Under normal circumstances, it would be full of detritus from both domestic and agricultural sources and would have an almost milk tea-like color, although it certainly doesn't taste like it. Recently though, I've observed that the river has begun clearing up, and a question popped into my head. How does this deadly pandemic give us a chance at saving our future? Perhaps one of the most dramatic impacts of this pandemic is to the air quality. Air pollution levels have dropped significantly due to measures such as lockdown and quarantine to prevent the spread of the virus. According to Earth Systems Professor Marshall Burke, 2 months of reduced pollution likely has saved almost 80,000 lives in China. The Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air has reported that the lockdown in China has cut carbon emissions by approximately 200 megatons of carbon dioxide. Those results are just from one country. The sharp decline of carbon emissions is a result of the reduction of motor vehicles and aircraft usage. Decreased economic activity has also slashed the burning of fossil fuels to generate electricity. In spite of this good news, atmospheric carbon levels are still on the rise, as a temporary decrease to carbon emissions has little to no effect on it. Do not feel hopeless. We can still fix this. We are shown that reducing our carbon emissions is possible and that the effect it has on us is drastic. We can effectively reduce our atmospheric carbon level by capping our carbon emissions by investing in renewable energy. We can change the narrative just by shaping economic stimulus packages to focus on green energy and energy resilience, which would also stimulate healthy and sustainable economic growth. With everyone staying inside and leaving nature undisturbed, natural wildlife has blossomed across the globe. In fact, due to decreased fishing, some fish, such as the herring, could double their biomass. In Malaysia, the Rantau Abang Turtle Conservation and Information Center in Dungun has recorded a significant increase in turtle landings due to the lack of disturbances along the coast. The overall decrease in harmful human activity ranging from hunting, pollution, and deforestation has allowed global flora and fauna to flourish. However, this is not the case in all areas. Decreased economic activity has wiped out sources of income for many in underdeveloped countries. Without a source of income, they will seek sustenance from elsewhere, such as from bushmeat. Bushmeat is meat sourced from wildlife. Not only is this damaging to the ecosystem, but it could also cause the rise of another zoonotic disease, which is a disease that transfers from animals to humans. These people may also go poaching for high-value items such as rhino horn and ivory. Nevertheless, we cannot judge their actions as evil. To have a chance at preventing the extinction of animals, we need to make sure that the communities surrounding them first have good living conditions. This phenomenon has also reminded us of the importance of food security. When borders close and the movement of food stops, countries that rely on imported food will suffer. Lastly, I will delve into the COVID-19 pandemic's impact on the production of waste. The closing of commercial hubs and factories has significantly reduced industrial and commercial waste, albeit domestic waste is on the rise. Since people are stuck in their homes, single-use packaging from food delivery services have flooded landfills. Recycling programs have also been hindered to prevent the spread of the virus in recycling centers. The world is also facing a deluge of contaminated waste from hospitals, such as single-use masks and sanitizer bottles. In fact, during the peak of the crisis, Wuhan City has produced over 240 tons of medical refuse a day, 6 times the normal level, according to the nation's Environment Ministry. Many companies, such as Starbucks, even have started to refuse to accept customers' reusable cups in fear of causing another outbreak. These measures are understandable and pragmatic, but with the prospect of vaccine still being a long time from now, we will need to find a more sustainable and long-term solution. In conclusion, this pandemic has had a great impact on the environment, both good and bad. It prompts us to rethink how we deal with the environment and whether permanent climate change is inevitable. What is our next step? Are we just going to resume our ways after this all ends? Analysts have predicted a rebound effect, where industries work twice as hard to recover lost revenue, potentially creating more greenhouse gases that would have been produced otherwise. In the transportation sector, a shift to telecommunication may reduce the need for transportation, but many may also start to fear public transport and opt to use private vehicles instead, which would increase traffic and carbon emissions. As you can all see, it is all a matter of choice. Do we choose to not care and resume our unhealthy ways, or would we emerge out of this reborn with a fresh slate? Our choices matter, every single one of them. So choose wisely. Not everyone is given a choice. Thank you.